Alrighty, it is officially 4:30. I left all my papers in the car, but we're gonna roll through it. So we're gonna we'll do a quick roll call real fast. I don't think we're missing anybody. Everyone looks like they're here. Everyone got the minutes that I sent over the weekend. We need to go ahead and get those approved, so we need a motion to approve those.
Motion.
Need a second? All in favor? Cool. We're gonna skip a little bit ahead and go straight to the new business for Tree City USA. Joining us today is Mr. Harold Fisher, who's part of the forestry department. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect, remember everything. He's gonna present us with some stuff here, and then that way, if y'all have any quick questions, I know we talked last month about Tree City a little bit with Krista, so if you have any other questions you wanna elaborate on or have for Mr. Harold Fisher, he'd be happy to answer those. And then, Harold, the floor is yours, sir.
Well, Skylar, thank you so much for letting me come and talk with y'all for a minute. The great thing is this is 19 years for you all for Tree City USA. So on your odd years, you don't get a flag. So it's going to be kind of a small presentation, but you've got the 19-year stickers that go on your signs. And if y'all need extra stickers, just let me know, and I can get them from Arbor Day Foundation.
We do have
with no
3
problem.
signs, don't
Do
we?
you have 3?
I know that we have 2 for sure, because
I
I
thought we
drive
got an
past
X.
them. I'm not sure. That may be on the side of town I never drive on.
Yeah, we got an extra one a few years ago.
And the branding has changed, if you notice, and I don't know when they're gonna change people's signs and everything, but I would imagine as they go out, but this is the new branding right here.
And so that's supposed to go on the sign?
No, I don't know what these big stickers are for. They I think it's a new thing. Instead of hats, they do stickers now.
Anybody has
we
an
got
iPod, an iPad,
Yeah, we got a small sticker too, so that
Dibs on the small sticker.
there you go. So there's those. Now the other thing is that they changed this year. Is instead of getting the maple leaf that we used to always get, some cities that are not growth award, they just get the tree. It looks just like a tree, but your all's is the growth award. Right? This basically replaces the sticker that used to come. And again, they changed their branding and everything, and that's, there's been some changes that they've made. So,
But we did get the growth award for
You got the
last
growth award
year,
again.
so we're kind of going above and beyond.
Yes. So this will go on your all's plaque, just like the maple leaf used to. So that's just kind of what they've gone to now. And I wasn't going to tell you all this, but when they put this in the envelope, you notice if you take a pair of scissors or something. So I cut just a little bit right there, and I think they'll be okay though.
It keeps someone from stealing.
Man, this envelope is hard to open, and because what it is, it barely fit in that envelope is what happened.
I don't think anyone will notice once it's on the sign.
No, and like I said, it's just on the edge anyway, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I didn't know if y'all wanted to get a picture with them, kind of just hey, here's 19 years. I don't know how you would do it, what you would do.
These are obligations. Last year we took one outside, so.
Yeah.
Take one here.
It's dark
darker.
out there. We
So-
could be in front of these pictures.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, that'd be all
Conway
right.
pictures.
If someone wants to volunteer phone,
Who's
we'll go ahead
gonna
and knock
take the
that out
picture
real
though? You?
I'll let you.
And so
Weird
I'm
little stuff.
gonna give you all of this. But your stickers are your main thing, but if you find out you have a third sign, let me know and we'll get some other stickers.
I know there's one on Salem, the part of the road that's closed, I think.
And there should be one on Brent, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Here are these, and your growth ward's in here too.
But yeah, let's get some of the 19.
Do you
We
want
need to
half the
get
people
those.
to sit in chairs in front of the standing people?
We could.
I wanted to get a picture of the board basically, because y'all
Does that
do a
work?
lot of good work. And whoever wants
Wait a minute, I'm not
to
gonna be the only
hold
one
them.
We want the three.
Yeah, y'all need to.
That's easier for y'all.
Okay.
Is it weird that all my stuff is there? Should I get rid of that?
Yes, it's so
I just
weird.
make Sam look like she's really busy.
Here, you get to hold that because you're in the middle. Do you want to just scoot that stuff down there? Sorry.
You guys ready?
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3.
Do we look
All right.
good?
And Robbie, if you can
Perfect.
Send me those.
that'd be great.
Yeah,
But I'm here for, if anybody had any questions about Tree City that you didn't, that, Krista, I know Krista probably answered them for you.
I think the only thing that we really had, and I think that's still up for discussion, is making sure like our ordinance is gonna be able to fit.
Yeah, there was some discussion about our ordinance, our tree ordinance needed to be updated.
Okay.
So we were,
You'd mentioned it last year, but it was one of those things that it was just on the fence still. We didn't
Yeah.
know if there was an actual determination yet or not.
They've kind of changed things a little bit. Krista, hold your shut. No, they kind of changed things a little bit, and they backed off of the whole, really being tough on the ordinance. They are trying to be more inclusive with everything. I mean, it's never a bad idea to look at your ordinance and go, hey, maybe we could, do something to, boost it a little bit. But it's been passing for 19 years, and I think it probably will. But that's not to say that anybody can't go ahead and, revamp your ordinance, to make it, fit more for Conway's things. But they kind of backed off of things a little bit because it was getting to the point where, we had Eureka Springs that was, at the time, was 40 odd years, and they were threatening them to kick them out because their ordinance didn't meet the right specs. And I'm like, you can't kick somebody out that's been there for that long,
Oh, that would be
And
right.
we had a lot of discussion in the Southern group about it. Southern Group of State Foresters in our committee with the 13 states, and there was a lot of opinions about it, and there was a lot of discussion about it, and it wasn't just us, it was all over the country that people were discussing it, and I think that's what really stopped them, and it just said, hey, we're going to probably pretty much accept anybody that has an ordinance that says that we take care of the public trees, and we have the responsibility as the, so there may be more to come at some point, but right now it's kind of sort of died down. They changed leadership. The lady who was there left, and they've got a new person there, and I think he's a little more lenient, if you will, and maybe Arbor Day has become a little more lenient too with all the discussions that have happened all over the country with it. So,
We'll
that's
keep
kind of where we're at
We'll keep
right
Ryan
now.
busy, making sure that if there's something that we can do, he can always.
But yeah, anytime anybody wants to look at the ordinance and, revamp it, it's not a bad thing, because all you gotta do is when you do your application, just say, hey, this is our new ordinance, and just show it instead,
Gotcha. Well, guys, does anyone else have any questions for Harold? If not, y'all have at least got to kind of meet him here. If you ever find a super big tree that you think could be a champion tree, let him know. He'll come out there and check that out. We actually have a couple of those here in Conway.
last I checked, it was 5 in Conway.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, that sign at the persimmon, knock on wood, don't steal it, is still up, so.
I don't know that it is.
I don't think it is.
I think it got
Oh, it go
hit.
down?
I think it
No
got
way.
hit. I think it got hit while they were mowing, and no one put it back up. So I don't know if it got destroyed or what.
The last time I was out there was before that big snow storm.
I'll
It
go
was
out there
still
and
up,
see.
so.
Yeah.
What is the status of a champion tree do? I mean, obviously, it's some sort of recognition.
It's the Arkansas Champion Tree Program, and all the states, or most all the states, have a champion tree program, and we go by the national standards of the National Champion Tree Program that is now administered from the University of Tennessee, and they just went live Friday for regular nominations. People just citizens can nominate a tree for a national champion. But we use their same criteria. You measure the circumference in inches, and you measure the height of the tree and the crown width of the tree. Those three numbers together, of course, now the crown width, say it's 100 feet of crown, you can only use 25% of that. And so those three numbers, that becomes your bigness index for that particular tree. And if it's bigger than another one in the, within the state, that, it has been the champion, it becomes the new champion.
Oh,
So the largest known
Largest
species.
specimen of
That
any
species.
species
Yes,
that's
I didn't say that,
native
yes.
species. Yeah.
Believe it or not, Conway has 5 of those, so
Last I checked, it's been a while.
could have changed, but.
I know we got
Of
the,
any native species in the state, or of any native species in the state, or is it?
Any native species in
Yeah,
the
it's
state.
any native species in the state, but yeah, Conway has, I know they have the
Willow oak,
willow oak, they've got
persimmon,
and the sugarberry,
sugarberry,
and an elm, I think,
there might be an elm and a
the winged elm, I think.
redbud.
And then redbud, yeah.
Which the elm and the redbud are on
No,
the
actually, the
front.
redbud is not anymore, it's
Oh, did
one
it?
in Valonia now.
Oh, so
yeah.
maybe I was looking at Faulkner County. No, it had a Conway address on it, the old one, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, it did, it was out on Route 36, yeah.
But a lot of times they're on private property, so you
Yeah.
can't just go look at them. But the champion willow oak for the state is on UCA's campus,
Yeah.
right by the fountain, which is pretty neat. And the champion persimmon is on, what's the name of that trail?
With Stone Dam Creek,
Stone Dam
Creek,
Creek
yeah.
Trail. So pretty neat.
it's actually right past like where Donaghy is, where you have the little bridge where you can see the deal go over, just right over there.
Yeah, and it's right up against the creek, and like I said, I don't think the sign's there anymore.
And it's not the prettiest tree, but it is the biggest.
It's not, and it's showing signs. Of course, I think probably the pavement had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened, but, all right, well, no other questions, I appreciate it, y'all.
Appreciate you, Harold. Thanks for coming in from there, sir.
All righty, y'all take it easy, have a great meeting. Krista, do you know when your trees are coming in? Have you heard?
I think it'll be this week. I think they were gonna ship the first week.
Okay.
So do I get with you or Greg or who?
Either one of us, but I may be going Thursday to go, sort trees so I may not be around, and then Friday they're not there.
Oh, so Thursday, Friday seems most likely to me, but okay.
Yeah. I can try to catch up with Greg and say, hey, she's probably coming Thursday with them. Because they are locking it again, they weren't locking it at one time.
Yeah, I'm just
so-
guessing that they might ship them today, and so then I don't know how long it would take for them to arrive.
Okay,
And what we're discussing is our giveaway trees
Yeah.
that were ordered from Missouri.
okay. Yeah, we'll try to coordinate between the two of us, and we'll make sure we get them to the cooler for you.
Okay,
All righty.
I'll give you a call. Thanks.
Appreciate
Okay,
you.
see y'all.
Okay, now I guess we will start addressing our old business. So this Saturday is our tree planting at the McGee. Hopefully everyone will be able to attend that. I know we've had a lot of people kind of hands in the kitchen kind of deal working on this, so I don't have all the updates, but between everybody, we should be good. I know that Ryan reached out to, was it Street or some?
Public Works.
Public Works to get some shovels. I'm waiting to
nice.
still hear back from Parks. I think they're gonna be able to give us some shovels.
Are they gonna be labeled with the department?
I can
I
ask
hope.
them if they are, but they're gonna give, he said he had 10 or so shovels that they can let us
Nice.
borrow, so.
I can also bring flagging tape so that we can flag
Right,
Public Works, Parks, UCA, big event.
yeah.
I said, I don't know if, because I know that Janice was asking if she needed to bring anything. So I told her it's always a good idea to bring gloves and then a pair of shoes that you're willing to get dirty.
It's gonna be
Right.
muddy.
Is there anything else that we can think of that they specifically need to bring? I know the shovels are a big deal, but I think we've got a handful of those.
I actually think pruning shears, just the hand pruning shears might be handy if people have those. And I know those aren't things that you necessarily wanna like loan out, cause they might not.
If that's something that we need to purchase, then we can look at that. I think we still have a little over $700 left
Public
in the
Works will
budget.
have at least some of those.
We can reach
I'll
out to
check.
Spencer and double check
With
there.
Spencer.
But pretty much, if there's anything that we need to purchase, today is the day to pass that vote and try to get that in. I think most of the stuff that we could probably either buy local or have it delivered pretty quickly. So if you can think of anything that we need to supply, everyone's in the room, we have a quorum, so we can actually vote on that to get that purchased. Other than that, I'll give Janice an update tomorrow if there's anything else that we think that she herself
We're gonna
needs to
start,
vote
I
on.
think, at 9, cause that's
Yeah.
when the UCA volunteers are getting,
Do you wanna vote like $200 discretionary budget just
if something
Anything
comes
something
up.
comes up so that?
Well, one thing I
So-
wondered about was, do we need to provide water and snacks for volunteers?
I mean, I'm all game to do that. It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah, I
bother
was
me.
out there.
I'm sure there is. I mean, the McGee Center will be open for, and they've got water fountains
We
and
can bring some.
Yeah, but I mean-
Case of water.
Yeah.
case of water. I think the last time we did a tree planting, we got some donuts or something, but I mean.
Beautiful, full support, this sounds delicious, I mean, very helpful for our volunteers.
Or, I mean, it could also be like prepackaged, like granola bars or something.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to buy those, that's totally fine with me.
So, motion for $200 discretionary funds towards water bottles, donuts, snacks, and then anything that
Potential
comes up
shooters.
between now and then.
Cool. Yeah.
Second.
All right, anyone opposed? Cool. Then we're good there. And then, like I said, hopefully everyone can come there. As far as the actual day of operations, Krista, I guess you would be kind of, well, Vaughn told you to kind of lead that charge.
So-
As far as like where we're planning everything at.
Yeah,
I got the muscles in this situation. I don't know if I got the brains, so.
yeah, so the trees are going to be delivered on Friday.
Wonderful.
So we'll have those, I think Tracy and I at least are planning to get there about 8 o'clock on Saturday, so before the volunteers get there. And my plan is to like kind of place the trees where we want them, so then the volunteers just go to the spot. But then when the volunteers get there, we'll want to do a demonstration, a tree planting demonstration, so I can handle that. And the thing is, like, we've got a lot of volunteers that are supposed to be coming, so I don't think we have to rush, which is actually nice. I'm used to always like trying to rush and get things
20 minutes.
done. But yeah, so I think we could spend some time, and I like it that it could be educational, you know. So so we'll do a demonstration of how to plant a tree, and then I think we should probably have the volunteers work at least in pairs, if not 3 people to a group, and each of them plant, so they each get like 1 shovel, and if we've got like the clippers, 1 set of clippers,
How many trees were there?
30.
So-
We've got a little bit of other pruning that can be done too, if if there's still time or whatever.
How many are being allocated for the library?
None at this point.
Okay.
So this 30 is just strictly the McGee Center 30. And then anything else we have left in that grant budget, we would use for the library.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then, but I actually think it still might be good. So I actually watched a webinar on organizing volunteer tree plantings, and they recommended that you have 1 supervisor for every 5 volunteers, which I've never had that when I've done these things. But honestly, it's not a bad idea.
So like one of us for
So I'm
every 2
thinking
groups.
we work more as supervisors, like, so maybe we're not necessarily doing the
Now you're
planting,
talking.
but we're answering questions, we're making sure it
Distributing
looks like
donuts.
things are done correctly. Does that make sense to you guys? You guys comfortable in that position?
I will feel obligated to at least do 1 tree.
All right, there you go.
I gotta at least
29 more.
participate. Yeah, there we go. You know.
I feel like it's awkward to just like watch them do it. You're just like standing there while they
But
do
they're-
it. Like,
they're
No,
looking
keep bringing
forward to
water,
this
be like, hey,
experience.
everybody's good. Get your phone out, take pictures. all that kind of
Pictures, we
stuff.
need lots of pictures too.
And it's like floating around.
You don't have to just like
asking-
literally just stand right behind them. Just be like, hey, how's it
I'm
going?
just supervisor.
And you're also a cheerleader. So cheerleading is the other part of that. Like, you want to be encouraging and let them know that they're doing a good job and that sort of thing. So I think this is a pretty fun thing, because I mean, this is a planting for the community that the community is helping make happen. So And then, so we'll get it planted. So I am trying to get some chipped wood delivered out there from a tree trimmer that we could mulch the trees with, but I haven't actually made a connection yet. So we'll see if that, but if we can get mulch, we can spend a lot of time mulching because we could mulch the other trees that are out there too. So that would be really nice, if I could get some mulch. And then there is also, like I said, there are trees that are out there could probably use a little bit of pruning, cause we basically haven't touched them in, how long have they been in the ground? 3 years?
Before I got on the
Before I
board,
got, yeah, me too. Before I started with the
Is
city,
that
so
3,
over
4 years? How,
Probably 4 years.
4 years, wow. They look good though. I went out there and we got a lot of trees that are alive over there. And do you guys know where this is at the McGee Center? It's kind of in front of the community garden area and then over toward, is that college? Yes.
Yeah, it'd be on the college side parking
We're on the
lot.
college side, yeah.
If you come in from the Prince side, just keep on driving. It won't be on the side. If you see the skate park, keep on going
Yeah.
around. It won't be on the skate park side.
Yeah.
But once you get in that parking lot, it's really not that big. You'll be able to see everything as soon as you pretty much pull in.
I think Tracy said that she would set up a tent and do like a volunteer check-in.
Nice.
And that could be where we have snacks and water
Yeah.
too. Keeping up with, who's there and how many volunteers we have.
I have one of those collapsible tent things. I don't know if she.
I think she's got one too, so I think one will be enough. I did notice there's a chance of rain. It wasn't it was a 60% chance for the whole day, but when I looked at it, it looked like it was only like 20% at any given time during the day, so.
It'll be one where either we get killed or it never rains on our side of the street kind of thing.
Yeah, so I don't know what we need, if it is really rainy and we decide we can't do it, I mean, do we just send an email? Is that how we notify people?
I mean, alternatively, we could bring pop-up canopies. I know that I have access to 2. If Tracy has one, you have one. We
Over
could
each of the trees?
have moving canopies. I don't
It'll
want to
be-
be stuck planting 30 trees without a
That's
whole bunch
the
of
problem,
volunteers.
isn't
So I'm
it?
just anything we can do to make the event happen.
So before we planted those original trees, so we actually had scheduled to plant the 200 trees, and it was the big event, UCA big event, and it snowed that year, of all things, in March. And we could not plant them. And we had 200 trees.
Right, yeah, no, I don't want to plant 30, let alone.
And I'm working the next 3 Saturdays, so I can't just do it like the next weekend.
So maybe bring your collapsible tent in your car. Hopefully we won't need it.
And your muck boots.
Yeah.
I think
We'll just make sure that we kind of stay connected through a group chat or something, and whoever's, I can always email Janice, but I can try to get a phone.
I mean, it's
number for
unsafe,
her.
if there's thunder, if there's lightning,
Yeah.
then it's unsafe.
Yeah, I guess it's fair.
If there's flash flooding, it's unsafe.
And I don't mind going like the baseball softball route to where if we're out there and we're like, hey, we're gonna postpone 20-30 minutes. And then if we're good within 30 minutes, we can start.
That's
But if we
probably
sit
good.
there and postpone 4 or 5 times, then eventually we'll just have to cut it
Call
off.
the game.
It's like
So,
we'll call
yeah,
it.
that's
once
essentially what we do for the park. So I mean, we're not
Okay.
gonna immediately cancel everything unless
Okay.
it's supposed to be like, hurricane season or something like that.
Yeah,
or
it seems like it might just
tornado
be
season.
off and on
That's
drizzle,
what I
so
thought, yeah.
So
I think we'll be okay.
We'll just keep postponing till we run out of donuts and then we'll call it.
It's not a bad Saturday. There's a lot worse. There's a lot worse Saturdays.
You mentioned that none of these 30 will be allotted for the library, but we'd circle back and check the budget for them. Do we know what kind of timeline that looks like?
I mean, we've got the grant, we've got money in the grant for it.
Which is what, 2 years, I think, isn't that what it is?
Maybe, but we maybe already used a year.
Something
So
like
if
that, yeah.
you're busy the next 3 Saturdays, maybe about a month out.
Well,
to
and
purchase and plant for the library.
yeah, and I mean, I think it's not gonna be as many trees, like I've talked with Sean and it's
You
not,
said you'll discuss 6 to 12 or something like
yeah,
that.
and then they're interested in blackberries too, which we could also provide with the grant. So I don't think it'll be as big of a
ordeal.
I mean, is that something that the entire board needs to do, or can just like a couple people?
I think just, and he's got volunteers there too,
The
so,
library will wanna do that one. I think it'd be a good idea to have some board members there,
Yeah.
yeah.
but also that's just cause that's gonna help, establish a relationship with the library, who for the most part has been a really good ally for us, so.
And I spoke with Sean Thursday of last week. And we just talked kind of about moving forward with the partnership.
Yep.
And I've got a memorandum of understanding that I sent to him this morning.
Okay. that's
So
good to
we
know.
should be getting that wrapped up, hopefully within a couple days, and then we can move forward and do whatever we need to.
We're just trying to make sure we handle all the red tape before we go full in, making sure that we're good, especially when you're mixing county and state and all that kind of junk, so. Which I don't think we're gonna run into any problems, but we just wanna kinda, cross our Ts, dot our Is kind of thing.
Absolutely. If I don't have any other engagements, I'd like to be there on the planning day at the library as well.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. When's their Arbor Day?
I'm sorry?
When's the?
They're doing it in May, I think. They're, well,
Oh, neat.
They're doing theirs in the beginning of the year.
wasn't
It
considered.
felt like a pretty quick turnaround time especially for a new board. I know he wanted some help with that. It was just like, ooh.
Yeah, when I talked to him, it was more about us just kind of promoting ourselves and our Arbor Day if we wanted to while we were out there, and then they're gonna do that tree dedication as part of it.
Yep.
That we can be there for if we want to.
That'd be
I think it
fun.
was May he was talking about. Any other questions about Saturday?
Who's our contact for all those big event volunteers?
Tracy.
I think me and
You
Tracy.
okay.
Either way, as long as we have somebody, because we still have Tracy's phone number, so as long as we have someone that we can trust to where like if worst case scenario happens and we do cancel, we have like accurate communication and not having, I don't know how many people are showing up, but you don't want 20 people showing up and being like, what's going
Yeah.
on, man? So as long as we're all good there, I think we'll be fine. Well, that should be
Oh, I
everything.
did have one up, I don't know if I said this last time, so we had originally ordered persimmon trees as part of the species list, and when Bemis got the trees, the persimmon were weeping persimmon, which is really just an ornamental tree, it's not a fruiting tree, so we, instead we're getting elderberry, because they had those.
Thought you meant they were sad.
They were so sad.
Well, cool. I know that was another one on y'all's list originally, so
Yeah.
that works out. Okay, cool. Well, then that covers everything for this Saturday. Now for our next deal, which is our 2025 event calendar, because I have no papers in front of me, but I know that we had talked about possibly doing like a birding event, or if we were still set on doing. I think we decided we were just going to do yoga during our Arbor Day thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I have the contact for that.
The birding.
Yeah, I don't know how it's UTA.
It's Uta.
maybe.
Uta.
Yeah, so she asked if we could send her basically what we're looking to do, like our plan, and then she gave me her email address to send that to. So I don't know if I don't know I don't know if it's like bird bingo. I don't really know the.
Well, that's when I would just ask them. Just like our plan
What
is
do they
we just
recommend
wanna
for a,
have a group of people,
Uh-huh.
preferably somewhere in Conway. As far as where at, that would be where
I think the library is doing a bird watching event, or they did
that,
already.
2 weeks ago, last
Yeah.
week, something like that. And they had been rescheduled. That was during the
Bad
winter
weather.
comeback.
Yes.
I would just kind of get recommendations from them. I mean, if that's what they do, like I don't know nothing about birding. I took a picture of one today when I was playing disc golf, but that's literally like about it. But
Did your iPhone tell you what kind of bird it was?
No, I did not use that feature. I could barely see it. I couldn't figure out what the noise was. And I could barely, it was this little bitty, I think it was a woodpecker or something like that, because it was killing whatever tree it was on. But I just could not figure out what the noise was. I was like, dude, something about to attack me, dude?
Beaver Fork?
Do you
Yeah.
have a photo?
Yeah. I have a photo. It's not the greatest photo, but I got a couple buddies in North Carolina who are big on birding, and so anytime I'm out and about, I'll be like, hey man, here you go. You want to enjoy that? There you go. You can try to decipher whatever that little dude is.
Oh yeah, it's a woodpecker.
There you go. Nailed it.
I want to see
Oh, good for it. It's like, I'm not that dumb. It's good. But yeah, it's like, so whenever if we're reaching out to someone who, like, that's what they do is birding, I would just, that's the same thing I do with Krista, man. Like, Krista is the tree person, so I'm not going to pretend that I know more than her, so I'm going to utilize her brain in that situation. So our goal is we just want to have an event, I guess, preferably around, you know, maybe the summertime or late fall, or early fall, I mean. Just, you know, I don't know when a good time to go birding is. I'm assuming not when it's, you know,
Year-round.
100 degrees, but then you'd
Anytime.
only seen. So yeah, I mean.
Actually, I think during migration is good, right? Like, so spring and fall are both good.
So yeah, I would just be like, you know, I would tell her flat out, we are open to recommendations. We just want to do something a little different to, you know.
Engage the public with
and enjoy
nature.
the trees. So we can go from there. Otherwise, do we have anything else that we want to add to that?
We talked about just doing like a tree ID walk, which Harold and I have done those before.
They're fabulous.
I think even doing one at like MLK or somewhere small, just to take a group around.
I don't know if there are that many trees at MLK.
There's at least 4.
Yeah, they won't take long.
Any park.
Well, you know, we've actually, in the past, we actually talked about doing an educational thing about MLK for the public that really talks about like the low impact development and that sort of thing too. Just, you know, the fact that trees can clean our water. Educational event. I don't know how much
Loud, they sound weird.
participation we'd get if that's how we advertise it,
A white
you know.
band, a black
I think like a
band,
nature walk is a
and
good
speckling
idea.
around it
Just
with a
do
white
it to be
belly
long.
and red on the neck.
So Harold and I have done them on UCA's campus.
That's a good one.
And we've done it at Tucker Creek. That's maybe where I first met Sam. Was that the
Yep.
first time we met?
Yep.
Yeah.
If we do one on UCA campus, we can point out the champion willow.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Then people can learn what the champion tree program is, and spread awareness on that.
Yeah, and then David Sutherland does them on Hendricks campus, and we've advertised them as part of the, like, he did it when we were doing the tree climbing competition there. So we got a lot of options, actually. We got a lot of nice places that we can do them.
So if we want to do one of those, would you want me to reach out to Harold and see if he would lead that? And that would be something less off of your plate. And then I guess
That would be
if
lovely.
worst case scenario, we could be like, hey, Krista, Harold said absolutely no.
Harold does a good job, too, he does.
Yeah, he came out there. I walked with him whenever we did the champion for the persimmon tree. So I guess I can get with him and I'll get with you, Sam, and see if we can do something at UCA.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make sure that they're good with this.
Well, and if we do it at UCA, yeah, we should advertise to students and staff, actually. Sometimes we get more staff participation, because they can do it. So one of the ones we did at UCA, their Be Well program, is that still a thing?
I
It's
think
like
so.
a
Yep.
healthy living program that's for staff and maybe students too. It's people on there, I think it's people on there
Faculty
in,
and staff, anybody that's covered under the health insurance, it's a
Right.
way to decrease your premiums.
so then they advertise it as a healthy activity.
And I can talk with.
And I think they
the-
get points, and if you get a certain number of points, you get rewards or something.
Yeah. And I can talk with the manager of Jewelmore Nature Reserve, and if we wanted to go
That would be a
around-
fun one.
Yeah.
To actually go to the, because when we did it, we didn't go over there.
Yeah.
So that would be neat.
We can set that up. Just make sure you copy me.
We got enough locations, we could almost do like a monthly walk. Not that I went to.
Just, I guess we'll get
Well, we
with them
did
and see if
monthly
they can give
yoga
us a
for a
couple of
while.
days.
You may have done monthly yoga.
Sure, whenever y'all want.
I don't know if it's better to do that during the week or on the weekend or afternoon
We'd
during the
have
week.
more student and, so Tuesday, Thursdays, from 1:40 to
X
2:30, or
period.
it's what's called X period at UCA, in which there are 0 classes or labs happening, and so students can get with clubs and have meetings and things of that sort. So that Tuesday, Thursday, 1:40 to 2:30, during the week would have the most availability for students, staff, faculty.
I am remembering that the last one we scheduled for UCA, it was with that Be Well program, and it was scheduled for like the first week in June, and it ended up being like heat indexes over 100, and we canceled it.
Yeah.
So June, can be really hot
I was thinking May,
Shoot for
before
May.
they get out for the,
before the students are.
or later when fall and they're.
When they come back, it'd be nice. But that way we can
Fall
give
might be
Harold-
nice. Like
give Harold
people
some
think
time.
about trees more in the fall.
Yeah, that's true.
But also, that'll also be pretty close when we're about to do our Arbor Day. Not that I don't know if that'll be the same clientele that'll come over, but it'll at least get us some more advertisement as far as that goes. So yeah, we'll try to see if we can't set something up for the fall, and we'll just keep y'all posted on that. But yeah, we'll try to get a date with UCA and then see if Harold can lead that.
So the last week of April to like that first couple days of May are finals.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
And so on April 25th is UCA study day.
Is that a good time to do
And
it?
so that might be a great time
Really?
to do it, to try to help encourage students to get outside, walk around, smell some trees, look at some grass, and kind
do a
of,
little mindful
down.
activity.
Yeah.
So that was April 25th.
Correct, it's a Friday.
That's an interesting idea. You don't think that UCA would think that was a bad thing to do to distract the students? that
no,
way?
we want to do
That's
stuff like
probably something
that.
healthy you get them,
Yeah,
where they're not just.
get them
de-stress.
outside, get them walking around, de-stress.
Hospital.
UCA does a lot of different events like that, and
So who at UCA, do you know somebody at UCA that we need to connect with to?
so we'd be speaking with the manager of Dual Moore Nature Reserve if we want to go through and have it meander through the nature reserve, and so I can connect everyone with that individual.
And I'm assuming they can kind of help us if we needed.
Is that your husband?
That's my husband. Yeah.
The person you share a house with, yeah.
And then he can help us with if we need to talk to anybody else as far as being on the property for like the actual tree walk part of it. So if we're good there, then
Okay. Yeah, so check with him, and then we can check with
your
Harold.
esteemed colleague,
Mhm.
and we'll see what Harold's got available. Well, cool. And then I guess we'll move on to our city updates. Ryan, if you got anything to add as far as grants and whatever's going on with this city landscape ordinance.
No, grants, we're still, I guess we'll probably put a request for information out, I would say within probably 2-3 weeks, maybe a month.
Have we gotten confirmation?
No word on where grants are at right now.
I'm very,
So-
very skeptical.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you heard, but Arbor Day lost their grant that was part of that same
Oh,
funding
really?
pool, so.
Yeah. So we'll see about that, and the
So
landscape
tweak
ordinance is a
on
work in progress, so we're just kinda sitting on that also, so not a lot right now.
Cool. The only thing I'm still waiting on, this is like the busy time of my year when I'm getting softball and t-ball and stuff done. So I still wanna reach out to, I believe it was Fayetteville who has the bounty program set up, so I still plan on doing that. And then once I can kinda get that information into an easy presentable deal, I'll send that to Ryan and get that either approved or rejected from the city, but that way we're not doing anything outside of that. Honestly, that's mostly,
Tree giveaway.
yes,
Discuss that, cause that's coming up real soon too.
yes.
I think I should have I didn't look at the agenda until later.
If I am still new to taking over this role, so and if you ever see something that needs to be added to the agenda, like Harold being here, me and him were still emailing
This
late
morning.
Sunday night this morning, so it was more like I didn't know what time he could be here and stuff like that, so I'm still getting copied into emails that people send to Tracy, and then I'm getting to those as soon as I can, so if you ever see something needs to be added, just let me know. We also try to keep this in that folder in our Google Drive, which Eric, were you able to get access to that? Are we still in that?
Google Drives is.
Google drives me crazy too.
You send me a link and it says you.
If you're
you
more than
click
like
this link
30
and you don't
years
have to log
old.
in anything.
He emailed me, he was like, "Can you put the minutes in there?" I was like, okay.
And then I log in and it takes me to my Google Drive, which doesn't have any of the tree board documents, so I really, no.
I literally went to my partner. I was like, all right, so the minutes are saved on my desktop. I need you to get them into this thing called Google Drive, and I don't know, figure that out.
That was used before me. In worst case scenario, I still will try to just keep those attached. But that way we have that to where if the city ever wants to just like, here's everything we got going on. So,
I thought that maybe for our April meeting, I would bring my laptop, and afterward, you and I maybe would take a few moments.
We need to have we need to have a Google Drive training.
I was like, how do I know? Is it there? Is it saved?
Does the Faulkner Museum have Wi-Fi?
Museum?
Or
The extension office does.
cool. If y'all are coming to the free tree giveaway this Saturday, bring your laptops and
Tree
we'll.
planting.
That's the tree planting. That's McGee
That's
Center.
McGee.
Never. Cool.
You're getting the
it's got
you're
real
like, we're
shoddy
mixing our
Wi-Fi. It's definitely not gonna make.
No.
It's not gonna get there.
Yes,
That's
we
the
can help.
22nd.
I was like, wait, there's another thing on Saturday?
No. Nope. Yes, at the next meeting, we'll teach y'all Google Drive. If anybody else could teach me how to make my brain work, that'd also be really helpful.
She's got
Well, I deal with Google Drive a lot, and I still don't know how to use it.
The
Because
plus side, all the emails, working super.
I'll use that as a fail-safe.
So we also discussed, I know there was an email too following up about the social accounts.
Yes.
So is the plan to put, because I know I said I could make some graphics and stuff, is that to put those in the Google Drive thing, or I don't know how the tree board's social is set up, but
I think
like,
he'd
we
actually
can
make you an
schedule
admin
posts.
on.
Yeah, so you would have actual access to it, just like
Okay,
you would
so
to
you
like
can
your own
schedule a
Facebook or
post
something.
and-
Yes, you can
okay.
do all that. Now Tracy always had me still like put the finished product of whatever flyer we used, because we can give you guys all access to Canva as well if you know
Yes,
what that is. But Tracy would always have me put the final product in there, even though
It's
you
just
can't do
nice to
anything
keep
with the
historical
product.
records.
Yeah, we do that more or less just so that way we're covered with the city, since we still are. That is another important thing.
Well, and
to
also
remember.
you the next year or 5 years down the road,
Oh, yeah.
you don't have to like totally reinvent.
Even though I guess we didn't have that photo contest stuff that you were asking for. I couldn't find that person's name.
I think Tracy said it was part of a school group, and that's why
Yeah,
the
the
teacher like submitted it.
She was
That's
like
why we got
2023, and like I found the thing for it, and I was like, that's nowhere close to
There's
this
no
kid's
contact,
name. But yeah, we'll end up putting those in there, even if it's something that I need to put in there. We just keep that as a track. But that way, if y'all ever go through there, you can see what we've done in the past. To where if you do have to get creative and figure out what kind of flyer you're making or something, it can be as complicated as you want it to be. I try to go all out with flyers, and then I spend 4 or 5 days on them, and then I just delete them and then give something very basic because I hate the way they look. So
Here are some of the old
Yeah, so now we're talking
tree
about
giveaways,
Yes.
Tree giveaway.
Charge to the tree
flyers that I've
giveaway.
made in the
March
past.
22nd.
So I'm doing a similar thing for spring tree giveaway, and I very last minute included that on the email. They're rough drafts. Spelling will be fixed before sent out. But those are just the older ones.
They're and that's the menu basically.
Yeah,
that
so
people.
we'll have a line wrapping around the building, a solid half hour.
We assume we will.
We hope we will for 1,200
Facebook isn't quite as
trees.
effective lately as it used to be.
Yeah.
At least that's been my experience.
Yes. And so we expect to have
I've
a
noticed that with
ton of people. And so typically what we'll do is we'll print out menus. And so while residents are standing in line waiting to pick up their trees, they can be going over those to see, oh, it's going to be wildly too big, or I shouldn't plant this right next to my house, or things like that.
is this one that drops stuff all over the place? Like, are
What
there-
is it?
One, mulberry or persimmon?
Persimmon does, yeah. Unless you get
are we getting a
mail.
lot of those?
Yes,
People love them.
but people absolutely adore them.
They want fruit trees.
They completely cover the sidewalks in disgusting mush.
those are the persimmon.
Yep.
People like the fruit trees.
How are we wanting to do free tree giveaway this year? how many are wanting, and we might have talked about this, per
Yeah, part of that
previous
was gonna
statement,
be
my brain's
potentially part of
not
that,
working.
that bounty thing.
Okay,
Oh.
what's the question? I'm sorry.
Sorry, how many trees per resident, how many?
Yeah, we need to make those
All of the
decisions. We even
kind
need
of-
to make decisions on, I think we said we're doing it 10 to 12 on March 22nd. Is that what we said? I think in the past we did 9. What did we do before?
Yeah, we changed the time last meeting. So it was 10 to 12.
We can look at the old Facebook posts. Is that what you're doing?
No, I was
Skylar.
pulling up the minutes, making sure. Normally I have everything in my car, but I had a meeting this morning, or this afternoon here, and so I left all that stuff.
The details of how many trees that we were giving to, but we have a lot more trees this time. Well,
We have 1,200 trees
Mm-hmm.
across 12 different species. And so the flyer is going to look more similar to the fall tree giveaway.
Is that including Green Bay? Were they able to come through with something, or is this just what we?
this is just what we
Logan.
bought, so they may give us some more
Hey
if
Logan,
we ask
Hey.
them.
those are just examples. Those
Okay.
are not the current species. That's just a, hey, this is ish what the flyer is gonna look like.
Okay.
It's gonna look more similar to the fall tree giveaway. Instead of yellow, the banner is gonna be light green. And I'm gonna do it double-sided where 6 species on each side of the paper, cause it's 12 and I'm not
That's a lot.
fitting
Yeah.
12 on a single side.
There you go.
It's not gonna happen.
I should
So I'm just gonna do 6 and 6. And so we're gonna do 10 to 12. How many are we giving per resident?
That's what I was looking to see if,
I mean, I'd be good with giving, especially depending on this. I know last year, I remember we were in mulberries, and those things.
okay, last year we did 3 trees per resident.
And only 1 red bud per.
And 1 red
was
bud
the red
and a
bud's
choice
what
of,
it
but
was.
this year we don't have to have any limits, like they can get 3 of any whatever, well, if we wanna do 3. But
Maybe
then,
5 per resident, 1 per species, just to keep it easy.
well,
You would wanna do
I,
at least 2, because some of like percentages.
male and
are really-
female thing.
I'm good with going
Yeah.
4, and that way if you wanna get 2.
4 and you can get
4
it,
total, you can get 2
all
of these
one
species,
species,
2 of that,
or-
or whatever, and then whenever they're gone, they're gone.
I think so, cause they were pretty even, like 100 of each
Yeah, it is.
species,
100.
yeah.
Unless there's something that you know is gonna be like the hot commodity, because like I said, the redbud ones were the ones that went out super fast last time. To where
Maybe
people
with
were still
small
showing up and
flowering
asking.
trees.
So if there's something like that, we can kind of limit those maybe to where you can't take 4 of those, you can just take 2 of those.
I don't think,
But if
I think
not,
we've got enough variety this year, I think we just say.
Which, for reference,
you just give out 4.
this is gonna be 100 each of cherry bark oak, chinkapin oak, black gum, which is also known as tupelo.
I've been trying to get myself to start saying black tupelo, because when you say black gum, everybody thinks it's a sweet gum that
which are
drops the big
amazing,
balls.
fantastic trees.
She did her master's thesis on them. They are good
Best.
trees, but
But
people don't
nobody
like
likes
them in their yards because they
Everyone
hate the
hates them.
balls.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Native pecan, persimmon, river birch, deciduous holly, serviceberry, rough leaf dogwood, wild plum, which isn't wild plum the same thing as serviceberry?
No,
Okay.
different.
Well, depending on the website, a lot of them
On the
use those
web,
names interchangeably.
Huh.
Red mulberry and redbud. So 100
Because
per.
the plum would be a prunus, and the serviceberry is an allium.
The deciduous holly pulls up as possum haw. is that
Possum
something?
haw.
Yeah, it's native. It kind of superficially looks growth patterns similar to invasive that I can't think of.
Privet?
Yes, thank you. My brain
Oh,
was
it doesn't look
skipping.
like privet.
It kind a lot of novice planting people.
Oh, I could see that people getting confused, sure.
But it is a native. It's a really, really neat native for a lot of different
It is a
reasons.
small tree, and if you get a female, it'll make red berries. They're pretty. But we can't promise a female.
So looking at the list of species that we've got, so we've got quite a few fruit or not bearing ones. We've got quite a few flowering ones. And so I don't think that redbud's gonna be as coveted from the
And
bunch.
if it is, it is. I mean, like if it's the first
So-
thing that we run out, like something's gotta be the first thing we run out of,
Just
so.
across the board 4 trees per household or resident. Those
Yeah, so
different things.
It is different things, and we've always done resident.
Sounds great. We've got 1,200 trees to
How
get
many
rid
people
of.
do you think we normally have come through there? Because with 4, you're able to service pretty much perfectly 300.
I would say it's around 300, don't you think?
Easily. At least what we've had in the past.
We do need to start advertising like now, though.
Yeah, I'll
so
finish
really,
up the
really soon.
menu like tonight or
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna try to get those posted by next week, by Monday.
We're gonna do a Facebook event
Yep.
and then do
Yeah.
some posts on like the individual species and stuff like that.
So it's gonna be 10 to 12, 4
10
trees
to 12 at the Faulkner County Museum.
per resident.
Who are our sponsors this time? Let's go around. Where are my flyers?
Conway Court.
Speaking of sponsors, have we heard anything, did y'all get that,
Demas is not
The,
a sponsor for this.
invoice?
I saw it. Has the city received payment?
Do not know.
Not that I'm aware of.
I'll reach back out to, I believe it's Crystal, correct? I know we've been we're trying to make sure that we did everything city-wise. I know in the past, we were just, which probably, now that I know how we used to do it, I probably could have just asked finance if we were good with just making it ourselves, but we had finance actually make the invoice. They were looking for it. We're just trying to make sure we got all that covered. So, hopefully in the future, we won't have as long of a wait there, but I'll reach out to Crystal again and make sure that she received that. Cause normally it would always be Conway Court as far as the sponsor goes, and then I
Are
don't think
they
Green
this
Bay ever
time?
wanted their
No,
stuff
I
out
think it's
there.
just Conway Corp and then the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Conway Corp, City, and then I always include our logo.
Yeah.
Can we
and-
vote in a small budget to cover, we may need to get some more bags, because we talked about that, but I don't think we voted on it last time. We may need to get some, we always put we dip the trees in water and we put them in plastic bags so people can get them home, so we may need to get,
Yes.
Motion for $200 for,
it won't cost that much.
well, so
upward to 200.
upwards of $200 for paper towels, clear baggies, printing of
printing.
flyers
Yeah.
for spring tree giveaway.
Yeah, second.
Sweet.
We're good there.
And not Green Bay.
No, I don't know if they ever really wanted their stuff on there.
No, I don't know what they donated anything this year.
Well, they haven't yet, they never know until kind of the last minute, and,
Cool.
but they usually don't wanna be recognized.
Okay.
Give away all those pine
That makes
trees, I don't know if I would either.
Easy
But-
enough.
And then I will say this, if they're able to do that again, I know in the past
We can do
they've
a
done
post, a
pine,
Facebook post if they
Yeah.
want to be recognized.
but if they give us another like 1,500 of pine trees, 0 limits on those.
Oh, absolutely,
You can
all the
do
pine
this.
trees you can take.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sneak those into every order.
Everybody gets 10 free pine trees.
Something that's going to live out of this bundle I give you.
Yeah.
So, as long as we all know that, then we're good.
I have 2 enormous pine trees in my yard that they were the size of pencils when I planted them,
They grow pretty
about
quick.
25 years ago. So.
How you like those pine needles?
I like them because I use them for mulch.
Okay.
Nice.
I'd be sad if I didn't have them.
Yeah, no, they
She
work.
turned that on you quick.
I'll ask you. Wait about 20 more years and I'll ask you again.
She turned that one on you quick.
I have no grass, but I have a lot of
Yeah,
mulch.
Which is a huge bonus in my opinion. I don't want to mow. Ooh, any movement on the native ordinance?
No.
Okay.
Work in progress.
Or
As far as this free tree giveaway goes, I'll send out another email and just kind of try to get a head count of who all in this area can be there. Even if you're there for just an hour, if you're there for the whole thing. Because remember, we'll have to get there a little bit early to set up and then make sure that we have some people that hang out to tear down everything. We don't want to leave that place.
You may, so, for some reason, it's always cold.
It really is.
It's super windy. It's like it's
It
windy
like
in that
catches
area
air,
only.
yes.
You can
We
walk
are
like
under
right
a
across
cover
the
at
street and you're
least.
good. But like in that area, it's like almost a breezeway, especially where we put the trees at. It's always very windy, so make sure you bring some kind of
So
light jacket.
wear layers
Yeah.
and bring a water bottle of it, and you will have access to the extension office, and we'll have popcorn. But there are also bathrooms. But you might actually want gloves. Did you guys use gloves last year?
I was at the table.
Yeah.
Anytime I've grabbed trees, I never grab gloves.
Yeah.
I use
You
a
will
paper
get,
towel.
you'll get a little dirty. The trees are a little bit muddy. So just be prepared for that.
Yeah, I'll send out an email, and that way we can kind of get a head count and put together a list of who all is going to be there. Even if you're a person that just wants to be, you know.
Some people,
This is where,
we need
this is
some
where
people
Josh
just
was
like
perfect.
at the
Josh, you knew
table.
exactly. He was always just going to sit at the table. He would handle anything as far as that would come. But that's where he wanted to be at for almost every event, and that worked out great. So even if you don't want to actually get the trees, you just want to be there and kind of be the forward facing. I'm not the prettiest guy, so I'm good with being in the back handing out trees. That's fine with me. So.
And I have degenerative joint disease, so I'm super happy sitting at the table, staying
Well, and you-
seated at the table.
You know more about the tree species too and can help with
I will say,
ordering.
you definitely need to be able to learn on the fly. If you don't know a lot about trees and you're going to work the table, just
Did I
be able
send
to look.
you the video I did on planting a bare root tree?
Nope.
Okay. I have a video on YouTube, and we could put the QR code on that.
Mm-hmm.
And we should also share it on our Facebook.
Yeah, just send it to me and we can get that done.
Yeah.
And that way.
Because people could be watching that video while they're standing in line too, so they know how to make a tree.
I put together a Mario track via YouTube video and it was actually super easy. So I liked it better than the instructions. So I would, if I was planting a tree in my yard, I definitely would watch a YouTube video. So
Yeah.
that works out for me. Well, cool. Then, like I said, I'll get that out to you guys. The ones who want access to social media, I know you sent me your email. I just haven't opened it yet. But I'll get you added on there. Anyone else who wants access to like Facebook and Instagram, especially if you're going to help with some of the marketing stuff, let me know and we'll get you on there.
Canva.
Yeah, and I'll send out all the Canva stuff as well, which that should go to just y'all's actual emails that I have on there. Hopefully, we won't have as many problems as we do with the Google Drive. I don't know if it's because you have an Outlook or if it needs to be Google, but then I look at everyone who's in it and like, there's
I have Outlook. Well, you do. Well, I do have Gmail for getting into Google.
I even created a new Gmail and it just went to an empty box.
We can help. We can help.
I'll bring my laptop. I'm not messing with it anymore, or else I'm gonna have to get a new laptop.
nah, it's not that
You don't need a new
laptop.
We got you.
We got some user error. We can get.
I'm an outside person. I don't mess with technology all the time.
You found my video. What? You already sent
On
it.
top of it,
How did you have it?
I just Googled it.
Oh wow. I was just gonna do that. You're very.
I hope you were ready for that to go out public because he.
No,
found
I
it.
just sent to you guys.
It's
What I'm saying is, like, if anyone watches
I was just
that, she's
gonna
like, I
forward
found
an
it this
email.
quick. I don't know if she's trying to bury it or what.
I was gonna edit it first.
No, it's fine.
Well, cool. So that'll be our next thing. So we got a little bit of a busy month here, and then we'll figure out whatever we're doing for our birding event and our kind of nature walk deal is our events, and then we'll have a little bit of a
Yeah, it's a
break
busy
in the
March.
summer, and then we'll come back as far as getting ready for Arbor Day. So if we can get through this will be the hardest month that we have there. So cool. Well, that's everything that I got. Unless anyone else has anything they want to add in, floor is yours. Otherwise, it is 5:28. and
Motion
we
to
can call it a night.
adjourn.
Second.
Beautiful.
There we go. We'll hit the buttons.